It's Friday evening for me. It's the start of my weekend. It's when I feel freedom kicking in. Yeah. So, my name's Eric. I'm working on this interactive storytelling thing. It's web based. You make faces. You make things for the faces to say. You make ways for the faces to respond to things you, the player, says. And so far, so good. I've been at it for maybe a year and a half at this point. Quite a lot of functionalities added in. I'm getting close to the point where I've got something which makes the full demoable experience that the tool builds. Let me just go over and take a quick look at it and show you what I've been up to. Oh, I broke it already? I gotta fix this a little bit, then I can show you. Speech screen. Alright, let's just take that out. That's all I gotta do. Up above, let's just remove that. Okay, and then we should be good. Alright. So, just a little tour of the app. Clear this out so I can see any fresh errors that pop up as I go. Here's the starting page of it all. Okay, there's these 4 places you can go. Faces. That's for making the animatable faces. Oh, hiccup. Spiels is for writing the interactive dialogue. Speech is for recording the dialogue that goes with the spiels. Scenes, it's for pulling those 3 things above all together. So a scene is like a playable experience that you could, like a little mini game or something. You can have a conversation with one of the characters with a spiel, an interactive dialogue. Okay, faces looks like this. It's like a little authoring environment for faces. You can pick different colors for things. You can change the sizes of things, the placement. And the faces are all animatable with all this stuff here. And they're ready to speak to. So I go with the male voice here as a test voice.
My axles? I invented them.
Yeah, the mouth movements are already
I suppose
happening there. And I've got an algorithm that generates all that lip animation automatically. So then let's go on to spiels. Here's where you say this is an interactive conversation, and it's kind of paired to what you might think in screenwriting as a scene, although I'm using that term down beneath here to mean like all the things gathered up together that make a playable scene. But it's like one conversation that you might have if you're thinking like a video game. If you ever walked up to a character in a town, all those conversations in RPGs that happen in towns, and you go up to them and they got some things to say, and you pick little menu options to go different ways in the conversation tree, or maybe you're just clicking the A button as fast as you can so you can be done with that stupid conversation and move on to the actual game. Okay, it's kind of like that. You set up one interaction, and it could include more than one character. And you have like all the interactive parts, all the things where the player might say something and it affects the conversation defined. Oh boy, the way I talk is kind of weird, I have to admit. Sometimes I say a big long thought and it was all in a parentheses and then I add a little bit at the end. Sometimes I'm hard to follow. But a point of this is that it uses speech recognition, so you, the player, can actually talk and affect things. I haven't got this interactively working yet, but there is speech recognition, and it detects it during the pauses when the character's not speaking. Yeah. And it's not 100% accurate. See, that one got right. above it says, but the taxes. I didn't say taxes. But it seems to do pretty well. Seems to do pretty well. Alright, so that's that. And it really needs audio, speech audio, recorded audio, to make this person come alive. That's why I kind of paused on this part here where it was integrating the speech recognition to make it interactive. I said, I need a way to just dump in new, fresh audio quickly. And I had already planned to create that as part of the app, a workflow for just recording tons of voice and have it automatically be edited, automatically have lip animation, automatically be bound to the correct line in the spiel so that it plays. And instead of that being an hours-long process, it'll be a minutes-long process. So I've got this screen here, and it's got ways to select which lines you want to record. And the next thing I'm working on is some kind of persistent storage for the audio that's bound well to these lines. So each one of these, let me use the terminology that's more correct, at least in my project. Each one of these dialogue texts can have one or more recorded takes. That's a voiceover term. Recorded audio, a take is like an attempt at recording. You might record the same line like 5 times, if you're really trying to get it right. And say, buddy, hey buddy, buddy, hey buddy. Go a little more raspy. Buddy, hey buddy. Like that. Try a bunch of things. Okay, and then, you've got those recorded takes, one or more per dialogue text. And inside of this interface, they'll eventually pop up over here, and you'll be able to mark one as final. And when you mark it as final, it'll allow you to check the editing on it for when the start and stop are. In a very easy to use interface, it'll guess to begin with, and then you'll adjust it if needed. And then it will take a moment to automatically calculate the lip animation. And then you'll have a final piece of recording. It'll show up in this column over here. And that will be bound to that dialogue text, which is also the same as what's in the spiel. You'll be able to hit start, and it will speak with audio and animation. So that's what I'm working on. To zero in on what I'm doing in this particular session, I'm working on this binding between persistent storage of the audio and the dialogue text here. And I have come up with no less than 7 different designs, and I finally, after just so much back and forth, have arrived on what I think is the correct design. I realized last night there was one use case I wasn't thinking about: ability to combine takes recorded by multiple actors on different devices. And once I thought about that use case, that you might have an actor who's got Wisp running on their browser and they do the recording. You might have that actor generate a bunch of takes and send it off to somebody else who's more of like a producer or like a director, I guess, who's also running Wisp. And that director may import all those audio files, all those takes. They still need to link up with the dialogue text within the spiel. So I came up with a design where that use case is supported as well. And it kind of points me back to an idea I discarded around design number 2, 3, and 4, which was using like a hash code. And then I realized the reason that I discarded it could be overcome. I was worried about some dialogue that appeared multiple times within the same spiel being seen as having the same hash. having the same hash and being interpreted as being the same recording. But if I add this occurrence number, that fixes that. And provided that the actor and whoever they're sharing it with, the director, is working from the same spiel, the hash that gets generated, or checksum actually, will be the same. Okay. So in this session, I've already got some code to use. I need to move it over into my Spiel library, SL Spiel, and that will be generating these checksums. And then once I have that in the Spiel data structure, then I'll check for regressions, things that I've broken, but I'll be able to move on to persistence. I don't know if I get to any kind of persistence coding in this stream. Tomorrow, though, I should be on that for sure. And I'll just finish up with this binding this weekend, I hope. I don't think it should go longer than this weekend. All right, but now I've just got a short session, so I will get to work on adding this new stuff. Also, Copilot is my Copilot, not dog or not God. I do have GitHub Copilot. No problem. There we go. Okay. Spiel line. It's got dialogue. Let me make sure there's no pending commits. SL Spiel. Okay, cool. I'm going to make some changes. I would rather have them being a commit separate from any previous changes. So that's why I checked. Okay. So I think in Spiel line, I'm going to need something like and those will be going to be a little tough to calculate the CRCs at this level. So I'll just I'll set this to just to an empty array to begin with. Interesting. Does that matter to me? Yeah, Copilot is pointing out there is at least one member that I haven't duplicated. Oops. Do your thing again. Okay. I don't need the from last dialogue number though. I can just say that. And you know what? You might as well just do that. Okay, yep. Okay, that's better. Actually, I just fixed a bug now that I realize it, because there are many places where I duplicate the spiel, and I want it to retain memory of like what the last dialogue number was in that case. Okay, instead of common, I think I'll add my CRC util that I wrote earlier. Come back over to Wisp. Okay, there's the CRC util. Let's add a test. I think I might actually have 100% coverage inside of this project. Okay. Now it's probably dropped down under 100 at this point. Okay, so Spiel line has got some stuff there. So I cannot figure out the CRC without more context. So I need to go higher up in the structure. And I think maybe a public calc CRCs. Is what's wanted. At least I'll write it that way to start. Okay. So it's going to be for all the nodes. You know what I think I need is something that just gets all the lines across the whole spiel. It's a complex data structure. Let's see. I think. No, that's good. That's good to start. Let's stick with that for now. Okay. Let's put that in. See what you're doing. Okay, this is really good Copilot work. Create an array to hold the lines, and it said for every node, let's push the line associated with the node And then each node can have multiple replies, and each reply can itself have a line. Then it went through the root replies and did the same behavior there. It's really a great autocomplete. Did just fine there. Find all dialog text. Okay. Is that the way to do it? Let's make this. Okay. Then I've got let me think. Okay, yeah, we'll do lines to byte arrays. Okay. So the trick is each line can have multiple dialog text. Ah, boy, this does get tricky. Okay, so if I get a whole bunch of byte arrays, I've got enough information to do that here, but I'm worried about kind of re-crunching it back together for assigning to the individual lines. So maybe it's better to just kind of keep it all in one big complicated loop. Sometimes I just want Copilot to shut up. The const line equals lines. So I'm looking for the occurrence number. Okay, so let's go back to Wisp. Got another function in speech ID util. I think I'll just bring this all over. Let's find the right place for it. Probably in here. Okay. So there's a thing to just figure out. Based on emotion and dialogue text, what occurrence this is. Let's do the import for that. Okay, we're going to look for emotion. Let's be emotion. Dialog text. This does not need to come from here. Let's just link that out. Import emotion. There we go. Okay, close, close. Okay. Form. Yep. Yeah, that's better. Okay, how about find occurrence count? Okay, so we start with 0. As soon as we find one that matches, we up it to 1. Okay, this should work. So coming back to Spiel. Also, I think all this stuff can move over to speech ID util. Maybe I should be calling these speech IDs instead of CRCs. I do like that better. Okay. Just call them speech IDs. Come back to Spiel. Let's move this over to speech ID util. I think by the time I'm done, this can be private, as could this. Okay. Call this export function assign speech IDs, and this will take a spiel. Okay. Let's import you. Come back here, grab this out, delete this out. Okay, let's take that. All right, so we get our lines, find all lines. Find all lines can take a spiel. And then no longer needs to use this. Okay. Let's see what it wants to plug in for me. Okay, we'll get the dialog text, we get the emotion, we find the occurrence count, lines, emotion, dialog text. I don't know about that. Occurrence node is going to actually be the same thing as the occurrence count. Yeah, that looks right. Hey, Sukantian. Why is your cursor literally 3 times as big as your code? To be honest, on my monitor, I lose track of where my cursor is often because it's kind of a big monitor, and I just said I'm fucking tired of that, so I just made the cursor really big. On a laptop, it wouldn't really be that helpful, but on these monitors I'm using, it is. There is a thing on Macs too where you can shake it to make it look bigger, like I'm doing now. But I kind of want to spend all my time shaking to find my fucking cursor. Okay. Okay, so assign the speech IDs. That is probably going to do it. I am impressed with the autocomplete from Copilot. Okay, so I got my assigned speech IDs. What is it? What's the warning about? Oh, probably this guy not being used yet. Well, that will be the thing to correct next. Okay. Okay, so after the spiel is loaded, I want to assign speech IDs. I could add a test for this too. Why not? Why not add unit tests? Let's make sure I'm doing it right. Speech ID util test import assign speech IDs. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so I need to set up some. I think there's like just going to be a single structure that I'll define before each I'm always curious what Copilot might try to fill in. Nope. Create a spiel with 3 nodes, 1 with replies, and some root replies. See if we can figure that out. Yeah. I mean, kinda. Yeah, kinda. I mean, you don't have to comment everything. Okay, you're grabbing from my other stuff. That's fine. Yeah, you're writing a test now. That's not quite correct. Okay, but to start out, you're doing pretty good. Oh, maybe you're commenting because there's no spiels or nodes to find. I'll try it again in a second. Okay. So import spiel. There we go. Well, maybe I need to use writer for that rather than Copilot. Writer is maybe better with the imports a lot of the time. Well, I say that, but now Copilot's doing all right. Okay, so I come down here. Then what happens? Yeah, so now you're doing it without the comments. Okay, but this isn't quite following the things right. What are you expecting? 2 arguments, huh? No problem. Oh, you got it. Okay. Nah, you know what? I'm just trying to get it to do my job for me, and it's not helping so well. So let's just do it correct. Actually, I think spiel, create node, and then let's do Bob. Hey. Oh, emotion. Fine. Spiel, create. Let's see. Add reply. Okay, what are the parameters? Okay, this might be a good time to turn off Copilot. Let me try that. There we go. So match criteria. Huh. And then the dialogue. What? Ooh. Okay. Hey. Okay, let's add a root reply. Character, Bob. Motion. Okay. That's fine. But this needs to be let spiel. And this needs to create it fresh each time for a good test. Yeah, I think let's see. Assign speech IDs. Yeah. Okay, to nodes. Okay, we'll check all the nodes to make sure that they've got speech IDs. Okay, expect spiel nodes. Zero. One. Speech IDs. Length. Equals one. Yeah, one for each dialogue. Okay. Except this is to equal one. Okay. See if we can figure out the next one. No. Fine. I'll do it myself. Oh, I turned it off. That's why. Yeah. See, try again. There we go. Yep. Okay, the next one, will you get it right? I think it needs to have two. God, Copilot's smart. All right, so that may fail. Oh, what else might fail? Yeah, let's just get that going. Okay. I tested all of this stuff very well. Let's go to Spiel File Util, fix that up. Spiel File Util, where you at? Just for the moment, let's just disable this whole thing. Is that going to get me to... yeah, I'm passing now. Okay. So, do I see speech ID in there? I do not. Computer on test watch. Let's just see what's up. No, it's there. It's there. It passed. Okay, cool. So I just don't want to be distracted by these failing tests here, so I've got them. Fix this. Fix failing tests. Okay. Speech ID util test. There we go. Okay, now let's see if it can guess the thing I want to do next. That's right. To the replies. Okay. Let me think about this. So it's not node 0. It's nodes 2. Yeah. Line, okay. And then what is it? No, it's nodes 2, reply 0, speech ID's length to equal 2. Okay, you're going to say what? Something might not be assigned. Oh, reply 0, line, speech IDs. There we go. See how well that did. No. Okay, expected to receive 3. Okay. Oh, yeah, it is 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got it. Okay, see if it gets the next one. That's right. Okay. So root replies 0 has 1 speech ID. Root replies 1, 2. And let's close this off. Okay. And then I just kind of want to see what these actually are. So let me just try this. Console log the speech IDs. Yeah. Okay, let's try that. Okay, looks pretty good. Let's do the next line. Yep. Okay, that is what I expected. Yep. Control plus, I'll try that. Hey, Cororolusif. I probably mispronounced. Okay, well, I'll try this little thing. Control. Well, no. Might be specific to your ID, that particular hot key. Okay. Yeah, I'm in JetBrains writer. Let's see. Okay, so those are all unique. That's good. That's good. So my algorithm is generating checksums pretty well. Okay, I feel like I could keep going on this, but I don't see a good reason to. I will try one thing. I'll take those out. And I'll just see if Copilot suggests any other tests that sound good. Nope, that's not a good one. Sometimes it does find one more unit test that is a good idea. All right, so what does that give me? I'll give you a little tour if you feel like it. I'll show you. All right, so this is a web app. It's for creating like interactive conversations with characters inside of a web. So there's one screen here that's used for creating faces, and you can edit the face different ways. The faces are all animatable.
No, I've given that up.
And
I don't invent anymore.
there's lip animation that's automatically generated. You do things like pick different noses, other body parts or face parts. Then here you can you have like an interactive dialogue that you can edit. So this is a tool to author all this stuff, right? And it uses speech recognition, although it's not fully like all bound and interactive yet, but it goes through this little spiel here when you test it. And you can see down here in the transcript, it notices when I start and stop speaking, and it will pick up what I'm saying with speech recognition. So when we get a little bit further, the prompts that are inside of this interactive spiel will cause this character to say different things in response to keywords. So stop that, head over to speech. The latest screen that I'm working on is a thing that lets you efficiently record voice acting and just tie it back into this spiel thing. And inside of this screen, what I'm working on in this session is a binding between this dialogue text and recorded audio that will be kept in persistent storage. And this last one does nothing at all, but it will eventually be where all the different things, the faces, the spiels, and the recorded speech are combined into something you can play and have fun with. So that's it. Are you a developer yourself? Well, you must be. You know about VS Code. But like what kind of coding do you like to do? Thank you. I'm working on it for about a year and a half maybe. So one thing I do want to get to is fixing that set of tests that was broken. So I just disabled all these, put it back in, and I'll see what are you complaining about. PHP dev. No, I did PHP for a while. I'm not proficient in it now. It's been like maybe 10 years. But PHP is like, some people kind of like look down on it, but like you can do so much with it, and you can do it fast. Yeah. And, you know, if you've got an older code base where there's just a lot of PHP in it, I mean, you're not going to convert it all over to something else just because, like everyone says, use this shiny framework. But yeah, nothing wrong with PHP. Yeah, PHP also, I don't know if you use it with a CMS, but God, what's that one that's so sort of popular and powerful? Not WordPress, but there's another one. Well, WordPress is PHP. No, I know. Okay, WordPress, that's one. And then there's that is the most popular one. But then there's this other one that, God, why am I forgetting the name of it? Laravel. Yeah. Drupal. Yeah, I used to make sites in Drupal with PHP. It wasn't bad. But I didn't feel like it was great either. There's a lot of things that sort of took too much time to figure out. I just wished we weren't using Drupal and we're just using straight PHP. Laravel never got around to trying, but it might have been good. All right. So what? Let's go through, get these things working one at a time. All right. So the first one that fails creates a populated spiel. It's going to be these new speech IDs. That's why it's breaking. So I just got to update that. Okay. So then line. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, congrats for getting into the entry level programming job. Like, I think that's actually harder to do than people understand. It's smart you got into an internship. Internship kind of gets past some of the difficulty there, but you know, it's still hard to get into an internship a lot of times. But you go like job hunting, there's just not enough entry-level positions. There's plenty, well, now the economy's weird, but when we get to normal, I think it'll go back, revert to the mean, which is there's usually plenty of mid-level to senior software development positions open, but not very many entry-level. It's like everyone wants to like kind of skip past that and just get the mid-level to senior. So it's a little tough for a lot of people. Maybe it wasn't for you. Speech IDs. Fix the unit tests. You gotta fix the unit tests. Right. Yep. Let's see if that got it. Now we're back. All right. So for all that, I'm kind of curious what my test coverage is at now. Am I still at my weird 100% test coverage? Which is excessive, if I'm honest. Ooh, almost. I'm almost at 100. It's like popping bubble wrap. It's irresistible. I gotta go see what isn't being covered. Insider spiel. $170 and $171. What's that? Ooh, this move node. I didn't do anything with move node. Or maybe I did a little bit, but I didn't get this particular case. Okay, so if I go to spiel test, yeah. Throws, yeah. Okay, let's see. God, this Copilot is just fantastic at writing unit tests, I gotta say. Okay, you create a new spiel, you add 3 nodes, you try to move the first node to 0, 1, 2, 3, that should throw. Now this one will fail because the node index here, let's do 0 to -1. Although that was an interesting test too. Am I catching the initial node being? There's 4 cases to catch here. The first index being out of bounds, either under or over, and the second move to index being under or over. Okay, let's just hit them all and be done with that. Okay. And go 0, 0. Although here, it's actually good enough to split into 2. Throws removing a node There we go. 100% code coverage. Ridiculous. Why did I go to all that trouble? Good status. If I wasn't such a purist, I could have just made do with 70% code coverage. I think it's because this library is just so simple as far as having pure functions that just work on a data structure and do something. Yeah. No, I'm not hurting anything with all those tests. I can say that. It might be a little bit of a waste of time to go as far as I did, but okay, good. And ooh, that's not quite true. Let's finish the rest of it. Okay, so I do have a function that assigns speech IDs to all of the dialogue text. The other thing I need is the code that loads a spiel to assign those. So spiel file util. Runtime to storable, import spiel file, storable to runtime. Okay, so we say spiel, blah 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 blah, and then down here I can assign speech IDs to the spiel. That's probably gonna do it. I think I might have broke some tests though, so let's see. Yeah, I broke some tests. Okay. Spiel file util. And then a nice thing is that these should stay constant. These speech IDs, because they're a checksum based on the data values. So I'm probably fine to just add them in. Okay, Spiel file util test. Snapshots. Okay, what was it? Create a popular spiel, was that it? Yeah, okay. Speech IDs. Just pop them in here. Okay, character boof, hey. Okay, let's see if that fixed the first occurrence. Oh, let's do watch. That's faster. Okay. I complain about this object versus spiel node thing, but I think if I fix the rest of it, it won't complain about this. Okay. So it didn't really complain about that part there. That's fine. That matches. Okay, then we go to replies. And there's just one there. Come back. That one's fine. That one's fine. This one, 7578. That's for the next node. Okay, and then I'm on to root replies. Oh wait, yeah, root replies, and then spiel reply, and then, okay, this guy here. Yeah, we're good. Okay, npm, no, not get. Get status, get commit, okay. Spiels now have speech IDs on all lines. Push that off to GitHub. Okay, so then I come back to the main web app project. That was a library just for accessing the data structure of the spiel. And I think I should remove these files that are going to be in the SL Spiel library. Okay, speech ID util, I will not need it. And by the way, I think I'm going to be finishing up the stream in 5-10 minutes, something like that. I like to end right after I finish the thing I set out to do. Okay, so there's some Probably something broke when I deleted those things, so I'll just do a build to figure out where to fix it. Any warnings besides my bundle size? Set disables assigned a value but never used. I'll get around to that. Nope, this is good. That's still running. Ooh. Okay, come back over here. Still good. Over here. Still good. Maybe set a breakpoint to make sure that that spiel that came in has got all the speech IDs added to it. Speech IDs are going to let me do a nice lazy binding type of a thing. Let's see. This one wouldn't be bad. Yeah, right here. It's also a good test of the duplicate. Okay. Okay, let's see what the spiel looks like. I'm not seeing any speech IDs. Why? Why would that be? I built SL Spiel. Oh, I know why. Do I? Huh. Do I know why? Do I? Yeah, this looks like it's got an old version of SL Spiel. I'm gonna stop. And then let's come back over here. LS. What's it? Oh. No. Modules. SL Spiel. Okay. And then seeing if I've got a symbolic link or not. Yeah, it's got a symbolic link. What, did I ever do a build over here? That could be why. I did all the Git stuff and I did all the tests, but I just never did a build, and that's probably it. Okay. Then let's do the test again. Do a refresh here, make sure everything is new. Start. Okay, now let me see what the spiel looks like. Oops. Please, please, please. There we go. There's my speech IDs. Okay, so this little checksum here is going to make sure that this dialog text has a unique identifier. And in combination with a few other things, I'll use this as a binding to recorded audio. So that is ready to go, and I'm in good shape to use that tomorrow when I continue on this. And my hope is that by the end of the weekend, I'll be able to click on these guys and say, okay, got those selected, let's record selected, and then it'll plop in audio and persistent storage, and those will be associated with these lines, and that little ID that I made is part of binding it. All right. Kurovo Lucife. That's the end of my session there. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have an awesome weekend. Come back and hang out anytime you want. I'm stopping the stream. I'm stopping the stream. Right.